Hello and welcome to this new FM18 mini-series where I'm going to manage Mexico at the 2018 World Cup. Mexico is the 6th nation that I have managed during this World Cup Challenge series, so go and check out the others first if you don't want spoilers to be revealed. I'm actually going to mention one already because in the last series we did phenomenally well with Senegal. We managed to finish 3rd in the World Cup. We did have a relatively easy route through to the semi-final before falling to France, but I'm really proud of that achievement. It was really down to this tactic, which I will be using with Mexico, despite the fact the players don't really fit the system, but I think it's the best chance I have of doing really well. Mexico are a very decent team. They're 12th in the world rankings according to this, which is the highest nation that I've managed, easily the highest nation that I've managed. I don't think individually we've got the best players compared to some of the other teams that I've managed. I think Senegal, they've got Mane, for example. He's a really good player. With Egypt, we had Salah, of course. But I think collectively as a group, this is a very good team. Lots of experience in this team. Plenty of 30-year-olds, as you can see there. And we've got the legend that is Rafael Marquez. He wasn't even in the national pool, but I decided to select him anyway because he's got 148 caps for his country. I wanted him to be a part of this World Cup journey. Unfortunately, he did pick up an injury against Cuba in my last friendly before the World Cup, and although I do have the in-game editor installed, that is only to remove injuries right at the start of the save, just so we can have the best players in the squad. After that, we're playing the game as normal. That's the way we have been doing it during this series, so Rafael Marquez will miss pretty much the majority of this World Cup. If we get through to the final, he can be a part of the team. Another injury picked up was Giovanni Dos Santos. Most of you should know about this guy. Started at Barcelona, of course, played for Spurs and Villarreal, various teams. We're playing in America for the last few years at LA Galaxy. The main man, Chicharito, the West Ham striker, who hasn't had he's not really been supported very well at the club I support, West Ham. He's just been left to rot on the bench, and he's come off the bench and scored some important goals, started a few games. Yeah, bit unfortunate really. However, he is our talisman. 106 caps, 57 goals. Legend of Mexican football. He can bang in the goals for us, hopefully. He did actually start on the bench for me going into the friendlies, the pre-World Cup friendlies. I was going with Raul Jimenez, the Benfica man, but Hernandez came on the bench and scored goals. So I'm going to go with Hernandez, or Chicharito. We've got Lozano, who plays for PSV, who's had a really good season in real life, I think. He's quite young, 22 years old, 29 caps, 5 goals for his country, now that we've played the friendlies. And he's going to be playing in a very unorthodox position. With Senegal, we played Bolde at complete wing-back. I'm going to be playing Lozano at complete wing-back. And it seems to have worked so far in the friendlies. For whatever reason, this position, you don't need to have a natural player there. You just need a player who's got the attributes to get up and down. He's got pace, he's got a crossing ability, he's got dribbling ability. Someone who's just willing to go up and down that wing. And although he'd much rather play inside forward on the left, he's going to have to play complete wing back. And I know that these players don't fit this tactic, but I just think I have to use it because I've got the best chance with this tactic, I think. We've got Herrera playing as Mazzala, the Porto man, looks like a decent central midfielder. We've got Giovanni Dos Santos' brother, Jonathan Dos Santos, playing in central midfield as the deep line playmaker. Carlos Vela, Football Manager legend. On FM08, he was a god. He was incredible. And he is a very good player. He looks like a really good player on the game. So I'm looking forward to seeing him playing in a position he'd rather not play in. He would prefer not to play as a shadow striker. He'd rather play on the right-hand side. But he's going to fit the system. I think it can work. I had to call up this man, Ochoa. I loved him at the 2014 World Cup. He pulled off some fantastic saves. And although he was technically 4th choice Mexican goalkeeper going into this, he wasn't even in the squad. I decided to call him up, and I'm going to start him for this first match. We're going to be taking on South Korea. We're in Group F, so Germany is the hardest challenge that we have. We've also got Sweden. I'm going to be playing 1 match per episode, just like all the other series. This is meant to be just a short and sweet series on the side of my main series, which is where I'm managing Hearts. So that's why I'm just doing 1 match per episode. I know some of you like longer videos, but I've explained the reasons for this, so I don't need to go over it millions of times. By the way, so far we've had a bit of a shock. Iceland beat Argentina 1-0 and Nigeria beat Croatia. So Group D is looking interesting, I must say. Friendly-wise, we actually managed to get a 1-1 draw in our first match. Carlos Vela opened the scoring on the 23rd minute. Janssen did equalise late on. But this was a really good comeback against Spain. 2-0 down, Chicharito comes off the bench and saves our bacon with 2 goals. And that convinced me to start him. I played him up front against Cuba, a much weaker team. We only managed to score 3 goals, but it was overall a decent performance. This tactic isn't going to win us games 6-0. It's going to win us games 2-0, 1-0, 2-1. It's solid. It really is solid. And this backline of Moreno, 30-year-old Moreno, 90 caps. He's left-footed as well, so he's playing as the ball-playing defender on the left. One thing that this tactic our players do suit is the defence, because we do have ball-playing defenders. Ayala in that central role can also play as a sweep. He's 31 years old, lots of experience at the back. And Arroyo, a 26-year-old ball-playing defender on the right-hand side. I think we can keep some clean sheets. This chap as well, I really like him. He plays for Porto. He was on loan from Porto to Sevilla on this save. He's a really good set-piece taker. He's got brilliant crossing. I'm actually going to be playing on the left-hand side, even though he really is more of a right-sided player because he is right-footed, but he can play very well on that left-hand side. He's going to be playing as the wing-back on defence duty with Lozano there. And the one chap I haven't mentioned in the first team is our defensive midfielder, Galito Vazquez, 30 years old. Hasn't got a huge number of caps for his country, but he's going to be our cement in the middle. So let's get on with this first game against South Korea then. Can I go all the way with Mexico? Let's hope so. One thing I didn't do this time was use the in-game editor to maximise tactical familiarity. I'm going to see how we can cope without doing that. I know it gives us a little bit of an advantage by doing that, and it kind of levels us up with the rest of the teams, but I've decided not to do that this time, see if it makes much of a difference. If I can win the World Cup without that, then I know I don't have to do that in future, or if we can get to like the semi-final without that. Let's give the fans a performance to cheer about. Mexican support, you know, they're going to be really behind us. Passionate fans, aren't they, the Mexicans? Really take football very seriously. It's always a joy to see Mexico at the World Cup, I think. Just a passion for their country, for their players, for Chicharito. Let's get on with this then. First game with Mexico. Please hit that like button as always, that'd be very much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. I'm trying to basically manage as many underdogs as possible. Mexico are a strong team, but they're still considered an underdog for the World Cup. South Korea on the attack early on. That's headed away, only temporarily. We've managed to get rid of it though, and here's Carlos Vela playing it into the path of Lozano, who's charging at the defence. Look at him go. Lozano finds Vela. Vela has to score. He had to score. What a miss. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. 8 yards out or something. Clear-cut chance. How did he not score? But we score anyway with Hector Herrera with an absolute bullet. What a goal. It doesn't matter that Villa missed because Herrera has just smashed that into the back of the net. What a strike. Oh, I was still angry about the fact that Carlos had missed. And then Herrera picked it up into Vazquez, found Herrera, and he slammed it past the keeper who just couldn't quite get enough to it. Ah, lovely goal. 1-0 up. Apologies if I do mispronounce names. It always happens, I know. But I'll do my best. I do try to Google things, but it often gives me the wrong answer. Because I can't do a Spanish-type tongue, you know. I'm English. I'm constrained. Well, 1-0 up at half-time. That was it. That was the only highlight of the game. A South Korean corner. We go on their counter. Villa with an absolute sitter. And then Herrera smashes it home. But I'm not complaining. This tactic is solid. It will get us out of the group, hopefully. If we can get wins against South Korea and Sweden, then we will go through. Just going to say keep it up. And we've not seen anything from Chicharito yet. It's on a 6.4. But that was the case against Cuba as well. And he came up with a lovely goal. Really good pre-season. Well, pre-World Cup. Bit disappointing to draw against Netherlands after being in front for so long. Oh, Giovanni Dos Santos got injured. Really good comeback against Spain and an expected win against Cuba. I'm going to bring on Pineda and we're going to swap him with Herrera. This chap is actually quite good. He's only 22 years old. I think he's one for the future for Mexico. One man I was tempted to call up was Carlos Fierro. Absolute legend of Football Manager. Of course, a few years ago he was just incredible, but he's just not quite developed as well as they expected in real life. However, he's still a decent looking player. You know, he could do a job, I think. This has been a boring game. Really boring. Chicharito 7.2 is non-existent, but I don't think they've really supplied him, to be honest. Villa on a 6.3. The front line hasn't worked today for whatever reason, but we've got the goal anyway. I'm actually going to take Villa off. We're going to bring on Corona, who really can't play as a shadow striker. He is a winger, but I'm going to play him there anyway. And I'm actually going to take Chicharito off and bring on Raul Jimenez. Play him as a target man, which is what I play with Hearts. I play Carl Lafferty up there. With Senegal, we played Diafra Sakho, of course. So I'm going to try him out for the last few minutes. We should hold on to this. South Korea haven't done anything. But to be fair, we haven't either. Let's just turn off Be More Expressive. I'm keeping it on attacking, though. It's been a really boring first game, but it looks like we're going to get the 3 points. It's just, sometimes this happens on Football Manager. You just have matches where there's no key highlights. I guess we just cancelled each other out, but we get the win thanks to Hector with a smash and grab. What a goal. 93% pass completion as well from him. 8.3 rating for the Mazzala. Chicharito, bit of a worry, but to be fair, he had 0 chances, so we didn't create anything for him. So I think I need to keep the faith with him for the next match. I'm going to say a good win, because it was. Lozano, 15.7 kilometres. That complete wing-back on attack role just runs up and down all day like a horse. They have to. They just have to run. So he put in a good shift for us, and he got a 7.5. He's playing out position as a complete wing-back, and he got a 7.5. Just shows how you don't need to have someone that is a natural wing-back to play there. It works wonders as long as you've got some sort of creative, fast player down that right-hand side. Anyway, we get off the mark with a win. So, at episode 2, or part 2 of the series, we're going to be taking on Germany. So, wish me luck for that. That is a massive game. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose that. The Sweden game, part 3, really is crucial, though. So, yeah, I hope you follow the series, and I hope you enjoy it. Until next time, enjoy FM18. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.